So I haven't really done this isn't necessarily a Bible study with me, but I haven't sat down and talked about God in a while, and He's something that's very important in my life, and I want to live my life in a way that shows Him in everything that I do and everything that I say and my actions. So this is me, in a way, holding myself accountable, but it's also me wanting to be a better person and know that with full confidence that Christ is in me, and no matter what comes my way, if my boat gets flipped over, I know with full confidence that Christ is there and He's going to hold me through the hard times and the good times. So I'm just going to jump right into this. I have a lot of Bible verses to share with you, but I really feel like they are beneficial. And I also want to preference this by I literally tried to film this like 500 times before this, and I have been crying and I am sick right now, so bear with me. I finally got up enough strength to sit here and talk, but I haven't really necessarily wanted to because, it's so much easier to stay piled up in bed and be sad and depressed, but I'm here to tell you that it's possible to not, just sit there and dwell in your thoughts and why are you not good enough and everything, and your broken heart's not going to be broken forever. It might feel like it. I understand. I've had my heart broken a lot, so it's anyways, you're not gonna stay there, I promise you, and I'm trying to tell myself that and remind myself that. So anyways, let's get on with the Bible verses. So the first one I wanted to share with you is Luke 6:38. Give, and it will be given to you. They will pour it into your lap, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. For by your standard of measure, it will be measured to you in return. Now, when I read that the other day, I was like, what even is this talking about? But then I started to realize that it starts out with saying give and it will be given to you, and I think that that's important to know, but you have to be careful because for me, I'm someone who I will give and give and give and give, and I'm not really expecting anything in return, but this is literally a promise. So it says give and it will be given to you. So pretty much, if you want to portray Christ, if you want to give and give and give, then you're gonna get good in return. It's not gonna be instant. It's probably gonna have a lot of mountains and valleys and everything, but if you're continuing to run the race that God gave you and not faltering, then you're gonna get the good that He promised you, because He literally says that it's gonna be given to you if you do what He instructed you to do. For by your standard of measure, it will be measured to you in return. Now, it's not saying that if you go to the homeless shelter right now and just do it out of spite of, okay, well, I did something good, what am I going to get in return? But by your actions that you live every day of your life, it will be measured back to you in the way that you deserve that. So I know that that's kind of, I thought that was important because I wasn't really sure if I actually understood that, but that's my interpretation of it, and I kind of want to study this more because it's really a good verse. But the verses that I really wanted to share today was the one who really got me through high school was John 14:27, which says, peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you, not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. God freely gives us His peace, and it's the hardest thing to accept when we're going through trials, when our heart's broken, when we feel like we can't run the race anymore. But He doesn't give peace like the world gives, because it is so much easier when we're heartbroken, when we're going through so many hard things. We lose a family member, we lose a best friend, we lose a relationship. It's really difficult to turn to God versus turning to the world, because I don't know if I said that right, but essentially what I'm saying is that it's so much easier when we're going through all these hard things to turn to alcohol. It's easy to turn to other people. It's out of lust and out of physical desire that's not going to actually suffice. So what I'm saying is that God's peace is the one that's ultimately you're going to find your healing in, because if you're trying to heal over time and you're going to these worldly vices, I think I made a video similar to this before, but you're not gonna, it's just gonna fall away and you're gonna end up even more depressed. And that's obviously not what God wants for you. So, anyways, he says, let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. And that's really hard, you know. We're giving all these instruction on don't be troubled, don't be anxious. Like, you know, it's not that easy to just not be anxious, you know. And that leads me into the next verse. But God specifically gives us this instruction. Like, the Bible is our instruction manual for how to deal with life. And it's really hard to trust that, and it's really hard that that's all we have. Like, the past couple days, I've just wanted to snuggle Jesus, honestly. Like, to be quite honest, I wish that he could just come down and hug me and hold me while I cry. Because that's when it's hard to trust him. It's hard to give everything you have to him when you're going through crap, when you're going through hurt, when you just feel defeated. So, anyways, I'm kind of just sharing what's on my mind right now, so I know it's probably all over the place, but anyways. The next verse is Philippians 4:6-7, and this verse, oh my gosh, everything I've been going through the past couple months, I've been trying so hard to confide in this, but it's really hard. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Jesus Christ. This is like jam-packed with so much like substance, but it starts out by saying, be anxious for nothing, but in everything, and by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. This kind of leads into Yes I Will by Vertical Worship is literally my favorite worship song, and I've been playing it like every time I get in the car, or I'll be cleaning my room or something, and I'm just like, yes I will follow what God's wanting me to do. I will fully submit to him through my pain and hurt, and even, you know, in the good times, and he's not going to fail me. It feels like, you know, he's failing us now, but he's not failing us. He's protecting us, one, from getting hurt worse, because we think that this is so awful, but in reality it's not. It could be a lot worse. And so this verse is saying, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. He wants to know, because if you're sitting here like being anxious about every living thing, that was me last week really badly. I was texting my friend and all I could say is, what if this, what if that? My anxiety was through the roof. And then I was like, dude, why am I not going to God about this? Like, I'm like, and I mean, my friend was really pointing me back to God and was like, Victoria, you need to stop with this being anxious, because God specifically tells you to be anxious for nothing. And that literally means nothing, because you should have full-fledged confidence that God has everything under control. And as Christians, that's the number one thing that is really hard for us to understand, because God's not here right now. I mean, like, he is, but, you know, he's not physically next to me, like, having some instruction for you, like, or talking to me. Like, I mean, that would be great, because, I mean, I don't know, would I actually be sitting here? I'll be talking to God, like, hey, what's up? But then it goes on to say, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts. That's the number one thing we have to do, especially in almost 2020, is guard your heart, guard your heart, guard your heart. And that's what I told myself back in a couple months ago. I was like, I want to guard my heart, because that's the number one thing that I need to do. And especially right now, I've been taught, for what I'm going through, that that's the number one thing that I need to implement in my life, is to guard my heart and to trust that God has everything in control. But then that leads me into my next point of, he literally promises that he's going to give you the peace that he has, and that peace is all-knowing, and it's overwhelming, because it's the best thing ever. Because that it just goes back to, the world's not gonna satisfy you. Looking for a person when you're hurting is not gonna help. And if you're just, you know, using someone just because, you know, you have this lust and hate built up, and you just want to use someone physically, and I don't know, you know, I feel like you probably understand what I'm saying, but like, that worldly thing is not gonna, you know, it's not gonna make you a better person. It's pretty much gonna make you pretty bad, because, I mean, eventually, I mean, it'll come up to, you know, to be, not out there, but, you know, I mean, it's gonna come back and bite you. I mean, honestly, like, it sucks to say that, but it's true. Because it's kind of like, I mean, alcohol. If you're resorting to alcohol, like, every time something's going wrong, it's going to come back and bite you, and it's going to, I'm not saying it's necessarily going to turn you into an alcoholic, but, I mean, that's a consequence of drowning your pain in that. Like, God literally is going to be there, and he's going to show you one day, you know, why things had to happen the way that they did. Which sucks, because right now, I'm, like, sitting here like, God, what's going on? Why is this happening again? But anyways, that's my 2 cents on that. I just think that it's really important that we realize that, because that's what I'm trying to tell myself right now, because I have been wanting to cry, but I've literally been crying for like 3 days straight. Actually, honestly, it's been like 2 weeks straight. But I'm just putting it out there. Like, I've really not been doing okay, and it's okay to say that. But I don't know. That's pretty much the things that I want to share that are on my heart, because I've literally been piled up in my bed for, like, honestly, the past 2 weeks. But what is that going to solve? Like, honestly, if I want to have confidence in Christ, if I want to share his message, if I want to be better and do bigger things, I can't stay there. Because, I mean, what is that teaching people? Like, you know, if I'm saying one thing but then doing another one, you know, what is that actually showing people? So I hope that this helps, because I know that whenever I look back on it, I'm going to be like, wow, Tori, what? Why couldn't you have just told me this like 4 months ago? Because honestly, I wish I could have told everything I'm saying right now. I wish I could have known, you know, like 4 months ago. God has a plan. It sucks. Sometimes you don't want to be alive. I'm just being honest. Sometimes you don't, because you want the pain to stop. But through your heartache, through the hurt, there's a reason. You're not going to know it right now, because I don't know it right now. I would look really bad with my hair this short. But I didn't want to sit here and cry. I wanted to talk to you, because, I mean, one, I'm leaving in 2 months, so I want to talk to you guys as much as I can before I go to basic, because once I go to basic, I'm going to be gone for pretty much 6 months, so that's a lot of time for me to reflect on myself and to better myself, and I want y'all to better yourself, but in a positive manner of going after God and chasing after Jesus, because that's what I want people to see, and that's what I want to do, especially throughout my Air Force career, is I want people to know that I wouldn't be where I am without him. So have full confidence in yourself and in your worth, and have full confidence that you are a pretty freaking amazing person, and when you have God, you're pretty much like unstoppable, because God is going to, I mean, he's gonna get you through it. It's hard. It sucks. This whole like year has been like crazy for me. I didn't think I was going to experience half the stuff that I've experienced, but I know that it's made me a better person, and even though it sucked, like, I can only go up from here, you know? Like, even though I'm in a valley right now, especially at the end of the year, I know that it can only go up, because next year I'm going into the Air Force. Like, what? I'm going to get to wear cool camo. I'm probably going to get disappointed because I'm not going to get a promotion. I'm going to face, you know, a lot of stuff, because just because I'm going in the military doesn't mean my life is going to be full of all these benefits and full of, you know, happiness. I mean, it's going to be hard, and I know that the only way I'm going to get through it is if I have my full confidence in Christ. So I really hope that this inspires you, and I hope that it points you in the right direction, because that's all that I want to do, because I know what it's like to sit here and hurt and question and wonder if you're ever going to get out of it. I don't feel like I am. Even after making this video, you know, honestly, I feel like I'm just going to go back and cry, because there's going to be a lot of times that I'm going to, you know, I'm going to see something, or I'm going to, you know, and I'm going to cry, because it hurts. But like I have on my wall over there, pain is only temporary. So it's gonna suck for a little bit, but you don't know what God's doing. He could be doing freaking an amazing thing, and I mean, that's honestly what he is doing. It's not like he's gonna make your life even worse. I mean, it does feel like sometimes, because that's how I've been feeling, is one bad thing happens after another, and I'm like, okay, God, can I have a break? So I know this is really long, but I just pray that this helps you, and if you ever need someone to talk to, or you need me to pray about something, just leave it in the comments below. You don't have to tell me, like, or you can message me, whatever is good for you. I just really want to be there for you, because I know what it's like to be completely alone, but you're not alone, because God's always with you, and I'm here. I love you, and I just want to share my happiness. Even though I'm not necessarily the happiest person right now, I've really been taught to be happy, especially through the hard things. So I love you, and I'll talk to you guys later, hopefully soon. I really want to make another video. I just am not sure what I should make it over. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, just let me know. Thank you for watching, and I really hope that this helps you, because I know that it's going to help me later on whenever I go back and watch it. I'm going to be like, wow, Tori, you know what you're talking about. I love you, and I'll talk to you guys later.